Hello, welcome back to Algebra. We're multiplying polynomials by monomials. This is part 2. It just means the problems are getting a little more complicated, but the same exact skill is in place. So now we have, for instance, 1/3 x squared, that's our monomial, and we're going to multiply it times 6x squared minus 9xy minus 3y squared. It's easier when you're doing these things, instead of trying to do it all at once, just to take the outside monomial, distribute it to each term, and write the multiplications down, but don't do them yet, and then do them in a next step. It just makes a lot more sense. So when we take this and multiply it in, what we're going to have is 1/3 x squared times 6x squared. That's the first multiplication here, times this, times this. Now we have a minus sign, so that we're just going to copy that. It's going to come along for the ride. And then we'll have 1/3 x squared, and that's going to be multiplied by the second term here, which is going to be multiplied by 9xy. Now the minus sign we already took care of because it was here and we wrote it down. I mean, you can take this and multiply by negative 9xy, but if you did that, you'd have to make that a plus. So we're just kind of copying these down as we go and multiplying times the actual terms. So we have another minus sign, so we'll copy that down, and it'll be 1/3 x squared times, you know what, instead of that times, let's go ahead and write it as multiplied here with a dot, 3y squared. Okay, so now we need to look at things a little bit. So what we have here, when you think about it, is we have 1/3, that's a number, times 6. What's that going to give you? If you did the multiplication, it would be 6 over 3, which is 2. So you can just write that as a 2. And then we have the x squared times the x squared. Those are the same basis, so we can add, and that gives us x to the 4th power. That's the first term. Now we have a minus sign,